Well, Saturday marks the 15th annual Earth Hour, and it started in Sydney as a symbolic lights out event to raise awareness for climate change. And these days, 190 countries mark the event every year. But the lights going out is not symbolic if you're in South Africa. So this year, WWF is instead asking us to pledge our support and efforts to ensure global warming doesn't exceed that critical 1.5-degree threshold. And that means spreading the word. Well, Dr. Morné du Plessis is the CEO of the Worldwide Fund for Nature, South Africa, and he's on the line with us now. Morné, thank you so much for joining us. I have to say, I quite enjoyed sitting at my window and seeing this collective community spirit of everybody doing their little bit to just save some power. You don't want us to do that this year?
Well, that's not what we're asking, but of course, everyone is free to do what they want. And, you can even light a candle if you want, switch off the lights. But the call this year is primarily to ask people to show solidarity for a greener future, a more successful future from a climate and nature perspective. And to do that, we're asking you to sign up. So one should go to the WWF website, wwf.org.za, to follow through on that.
Morné, what happens once you get onto the website? How do you feel that you're doing something that's meaningful and actually practical too?
I think the important thing to understand is when you do sign up on the website, it gives you access to information. So one of the most important things is we want to create this awareness and awakening that you have to arm yourself with knowledge. Once you understand your own environmental footprint, then you can take both actions privately, that also result in savings for yourself, but is also treading lightly on the planet. But beyond the personal is also to join numbers of people from across the world to show solidarity, which in turn puts pressure on our leaders to honor those commitments that you mentioned just in the introduction of keeping our country and our globe below 1.5 degrees of warming.
Morné, do you feel your job has become a little easier with more attention, certainly from social media and people influencers such as Greta Thunberg, etc., than you did a couple of years ago when it comes to global warming and environmental affairs that otherwise most people were quite dismissive of?
Yes, look, I think now is probably the best time for anybody in the field of environmental sustainability to be practicing. But we will never be complacent because, we know that a message too often repeated in the same way can dull the senses, and then people think it's everyone else's problem. And we really want to ask that people sign up to demonstrate their individual support for joining this global movement, the biggest environmental campaign anywhere in the world, ever, in fact. So it's something worth joining, and we ask that you go to the WWF website to please sign up.
Morné, you said, that knowledge is obviously crucial and that's so empowering. Is anything that we could tell viewers to do over the next few weeks, at least, just to bring some of the heat down and to do our bit for climate change?
Yeah, so I think what we would ask, and very kind of you to offer for me to say this, but there are many actions that we can take. We don't want you to take that for 1 hour. We don't want you to take that just for a few weeks, but these are habits that we need to acquire. So, for example, to adapt your electricity use, solar geysers and solar panels over the medium term will put money back in your pocket the way electricity prices are going. Your geyser, your stove, your pool filter pump, if you are fortunate to have that, these are all things that draw very heavily. So you can adapt your electricity use. You transform the way in which you move around, use transport by carpooling or just better planning your journey so you don't just hop in the car because it's convenient. You shop local, you buy local produce, you don't waste food. Perhaps more importantly for those with the means to invest money is to ask questions of your investment fund in terms of where is that money going? Is it going into sustainable or is it going into unsustainable investments, and to make your choice based on that. So many individual actions we can take.
It's really about mindful living, isn't it, Morné? So we'll certainly spread the word, and thank you for being such an active ambassador. That was WWF CEO Dr. Morné du Plessis.